Hey everybody, this episode has been full of technical difficulties for us recording. We did this episode over Zoom. We got through about the first 20 or so minutes okay, and then the connection just started going crazy. I kept getting kicked out of the meeting, all this kind of stuff. It was just not working out. So this episode, at least for the video version, it's just going to be audio only. So if you're watching it on YouTube, you're just going to see a picture. If you're listening to the audio version, this makes no difference. But just want to give y'all a heads up for the video version. Also, I've had a pretty bad allergy this week, so you might hear a lot of coughing and allergy-related sounds throughout the episode. But yeah, just wanted to give y'all a heads up, and hope you enjoy the episode. What's up, everybody? Gobble, gobble. My name is Caesar.
And I'm Martha.
And welcome back to, what is this, 32nd episode?
32nd episode.
Of Inner Wider Screen, where?
Two idiots who know nothing about movies talk about movies.
Martha, if I have it, I don't share it. If I share it, I don't have it. What is it?
If I have it, I don't share it.
I thought you were frozen for a second.
No, that's just me being confused. Okay, if I don't have it, I don't... wait, if I have it, I don't share it. If I don't have it...
No. Hear me out. You don't listen. If I have it, I don't share it. If I share it, I don't have it. So what is it?
A secret.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the 32nd episode. Did you already know this?
No, it just made sense.
I just don't know how secret pops in your mind like that already.
Well, because you don't share secrets. But
well, so
once you do,
let's break down
it's
the
not
question a little bit.
secret.
If you have it, you don't share. So if you have a secret, obviously you don't share with anyone.
Yeah.
But if you share a secret, you don't have it anymore because it's no longer a secret.
Yeah, exactly. It's logical.
I would beg to differ. The last couple of weeks, you have not been the most logical when it comes to these questions.
Okay, well, you know what? I think, after like 3 straight weeks of sleep deprivation, I had a full 8 hours of sleep last night.
That's good.
I am bouncing back. It has been
That's wonderful for you. I'm
week.
honestly very proud of you. Oh no. Why has it been, why the stress? What's up?
It was just
Talk
one thing after the other. It was a lot of assignments, first of all. It's the end of the semester, so it
yes, I've been
gets
going through the
hectic.
same. Yeah.
On top of that, so I was like rushing to try and get to class on time because I had a 10-page paper that I needed to submit or to hand in. Yeah, it was a very long it was a very long essay that
What,
I
we're in
spent.
1995? Where are we handing in papers physically now?
Right? Okay, that was my thing. I was like, so I have never handed in
I've never heard of that.
paper in my college career. I have never handed in a paper, like a physical copy of a paper. And I'm like, what year are you living in, dude? So
Right.
I had to rush to class to hand in this paper on time. I leave my house an hour before I need to get to school.
Huh.
The highway to get to school is shut down.
Oh
And
my
I was
God.
like, oh my God. And even before that, I had to take a detour to even get to the highway that was closed down because they were doing a bunch of construction where I live. So I had to take a different, longer way to get there. And then I got there and it was shut down. And I was like, this is great. So I am just trying desperately to get to class on time to hand in my paper on time. But luckily I did it.
You got there on time?
I did. I was 10 minutes late, but my professor was like, it's fine, just give it to me.
Okay,
so I was like,
that's good.
Oh, thank God.
Because we live not too far from each other, so I know the route. We take the same route to school, and then I know how easily that can happen like that, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was a grand time. I was having a bit of a breakdown, and I don't know if you've seen on TikTok, but there's like apparently this like magic song that it's like if you like use it in your video, it like good things happen to you. And
no,
so like
my TikTok's not that optimistic, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been seeing it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I the night before the whole traffic incident happened, I was like, I need luck in my life. So I tried it out. And then the next day, my luck got worse. And I was like, this is the opposite effect.
Maybe it did work out because you still made it on time. I mean, not on time, but you still turned it in. Fine.
Yeah, still turned it in on time. So that's good. But, it's
and we're here
it's
now talking about this wonderful movie. It's good times. Yeah, but before we get into the movie, so I'm assuming based off your busy week that you didn't really have time to watch much.
No, I did not. No,
that's okay.
Yeah.
I will say though, so you did not go to the game this past weekend, right? You're not able to go.
If there's one thing I regret most in life is not going to that game.
But I mean, I get why you didn't go though.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was my first game I've ever been to, at least at UTSA, and it was incredible. We're still undefeated.
11-0, baby.
It's crazy. And I guess like throughout the season, like I've been aware of how well we were doing, and it felt cool like being, at the school where that's happening. But I didn't really feel it until I was at the game.
Until you were there.
And now
exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like game winning touch. Oh, it was such a good game.
Oh,
so,
because I wasn't there, so I was standing and I was just like watching my phone. I was like trying to write my essay, and I was like watching, and I was just screaming at my phone because it was like, we're gonna lose. I
really thought for a second we were gonna lose that game. There were people walking out of the stadium with like 2 minutes left. Not a lot of people, but there were some.
Insane. The most stress. I wish I was there.
Yeah,
but
I really was like. So, like, I remember, like, the last game Brianna was telling you when we were down in the first half, she was like, don't ever come back to a game.
Yeah.
I really thought I was going to get the same treatment going to this game, and they would have lost.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm really glad that they won. And that means we get another home game still. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully I'll be able to go to that. I should.
Pack the dome, guys. If y'all are in the San Antonio area, December 3rd.
Yes.
Is the big game.
Definitely be there.
I think.
So the tickets have already went on sale, and like most of the seats are gone already.
So
and then for us students, so they figured out a way to get us free tickets. I guess they raised enough money for that, which is really cool. So
yeah, that was awesome to see.
That was pretty great, because I didn't know at first it was going to be like that, but I get why. Like, it's the conference that's technically hosting the game, not UTSA, so that's why we had to pay, but not anymore. But anyway, that was a great game, and still, it's been an amazing season. So just seeing it in person was awesome. I did get to catch a few movies this week. I did go to the theater. My most recent trip was for Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, how is that?
It was fun. I like Ghostbusters. I saw it once in high school, and I thought it was cool. And this definitely has a lot of moments of kind of like fan service and nostalgia to it.
And you were not the fan to be serviced to? Right.
No, so it didn't bother me.
Okay.
Nor did it basically, because I've read about people that like either were really psyched about it or like were really annoyed by it. I was in the middle where it's like it does nothing for me, because I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't mind fan service as long as the story of the movie is still
is there. It's so good.
And for this, it is like I thought it was really charming and everything, and it had some sweet moments too. So
okay.
It was a lot of fun.
I definitely want to see it. I love Ghostbusters. I watched all of them, and I very much enjoy it.
Oh, you've seen all of them? Mm-hmm. Because I know there was a Ghostbusters 2, and then they did the Ghostbusters reboot.
Yeah.
With the all female cast.
I even saw that one. Yes.
Okay. I didn't see that one. But
it was not great. So
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
No, but yeah, this one's really good. I would definitely check it out. I also saw on HBO Max King Richard, the new movie starring Will Smith, and he's the father of Serena Venus. Also a very good movie, and Will Smith kills it. I mean, we still have a long way to go till the awards, but I would be shocked at this point if he doesn't win for this. Dude's really, he's going for it, but it works. It's really good. So I watched that. Did you hear about this movie on Netflix? So I finished this last night. This is my most recent one. Which one?
I already know it. Don't Look Up.
Oh, no. That hasn't come out yet.
No, not that one? Oh, okay. Well, no,
I want to see that one.
Like if I've seen the trailer for it.
Oh, I have not watched the trailer because I already want to see it. So I just don't. I just tend to avoid a trailer if I already know I want to watch the movie. But no, I'm so excited for that movie. I think they just started showing it to like people in the industry, and like it's already been getting some good reviews. So that's exciting. But no. This one's already out, and I promise you, it's not in the awards conversation by any stretch. This stars our girl for the Vampire Diaries,
Nina Dobrev. Oh, Love Hard or something.
Yeah.
I actually just saw the trailer for that. I was scrolling through Netflix.
It's not good.
Yeah, it didn't look good, but I'm gonna watch it because Nina.
It has that kind of Christmas charm that a bad movie is. You know what I mean?
But that's kind of like I was Christmas movies.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think it was good. I wouldn't recommend it, but I
definitely
I was kind of entertained by it. Yeah, I mean, like,
okay. I'm definitely gonna watch it just because again, that's Christmas movies. Like all of December is a free pass for movies. They're gonna be bad. You know they're gonna be bad. You just gotta accept it and get with it. You know, it's part of the holiday season.
Exactly.
Is watching terribly written movies that have like cute sappy moments in it, but are mostly just so cheesy and such full of cliches, and it's just so bad. But also, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. So I will say though too, out of these movies, I've seen worse than this too. I will say, like, I don't think this was terrible though.
That's good.
But.
That's good.
But it does fit into that kind of basically like just what you were describing. This is perfectly in line with those. Which that reminds me, I just have a quick question for you. So when you were talking about those kind of movies, another one I've always seen on Netflix like this time of year are those Princess Switch movies.
They're spies now? Crazy.
What? Oh, wait. Oh, have you watched these movies? I was going to ask, have you seen these movies?
I only saw the first one because then the second one I was like, okay, so what are the odds that there's 3 of them? And then they came out with a third one. They literally
just dropped a third one. That's why I was asking. I was like, there's a trilogy now, so I figured you'd had to...
And
I haven't watched them.
They pulled a Fast and the Furious, and suddenly they're like spies. And they're like, what? What? The first movie was about baking. What?
I think for them to truly go Fast and Furious, they got to go to space in the 4th one.
Oh my god.
And honestly, if they did that, I probably would give the series a chance. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I would not. I would absolutely not. I would just
only just because it's already streaming. It doesn't cost me anything extra. But
that's fair. Okay.
But as of right now, I will stay away from those. But I was just curious because but we'll definitely get into those Christmas movies later on in December. That'll be fun. But let's get into today's movie.
Yes.
Which actually we did not plan for this to drop. So by the time I finish this, I'm probably gonna drop it on Thanksgiving Day. I think this is like the perfect Thanksgiving movie
because it's family.
We were not even. It's a family oriented. Like this movie's literally about the bond between a father and his son.
It's perfect. Yeah,
and like just. I mean, we'll get more into that, but I think this was perfect. So I'm glad that we went with this. But as you can see today, we were talking about
not only a great movie, but a goofy movie. I had to.
Or you could just say a goofy movie because it's in the title, but that's fine. So, to introduce a goofy movie, this is directed by Kevin Lima. His first movie as a director. Afterwards, he directed Tarzan.
So clearly he knows what he's doing.
Yes, 102 Dalmatians, the live action with Glenn Close. Not the first one, but the second one.
Oh.
I forget there were 2 of them. And he also directed Enchanted.
I love this man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're doing Disenchanted. Like, where is he? Why is he not on that project? I don't know.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Cast stars Bill Farmer, Jason Marsden, Jim Cummings, Kelly Martin, Rob Paulson, Wallace Shawn, and Jenna Von Oy. Released on April 7th, 1995. Pretty wild.
Those 90s vibes, they are there.
Oh, the 90s vibes are absolutely here. This has a budget of $18 million, grossed only about $35 million worldwide. So it was not a huge earner at the box office, but clearly we're talking about it today for a reason. So, you know. And then the synopsis reads, I will say, this is the longest synopsis I've ever gotten for any movie ever, so be patient here.
And for a goofy movie, wow.
Yeah, and it's a terrible synopsis. Well, I'll let you decide for yourself. Though Goofy always means well, his amiable cluelessness, and klutzy pratfalls regularly embarrass his awkward adolescent son, Max. When Max's lighthearted prank on his high school principal finally gets his longtime crush, Roxanne, to notice him, he asks her on a date. Max's trouble at school convinces Goofy that he and the boy need to bond over a cross-country fishing trip, like the one he took with his dad when he was Max's age, which throws a kink in his son's plans to impress Roxanne. Why was that so long? That was like an essay.
That was.
They included so many.
Than the essay I wrote.
Basically, that was longer than the 10-page paper that you handed in. Why all unnecessary details in that synopsis? I don't understand.
Not necessary, but I mean, I guess it really just gave you the rundown of every. I mean,
that was literally the first 30 minutes of the movie, like right there.
That was the movie basically. But
and because the movie's so short, that was like the first half of the movie.
Yeah. Okay. So synopsis, not doing a very good job of.
I think that's a synopsis explaining too much.
It does too much. It's too good of a synopsis is the problem.
So like really, that's not a synopsis. That's a plot summary. That is a
plot summary. Is exactly what that was.
That's what that was. But anywho, yeah. So actually, the memories I have of a Goofy movie from when I was a kid were actually more from the other Goofy movie that came out after this when he was in college.
He goes to college, yeah.
So I didn't really have any memories of this movie until I watched it. I think it was 14 or something. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of forgot about it again. And then last year during COVID, I was like, let's put it on again. And I was like, okay, this movie's fun. So the nostalgia, I will say for me with this movie isn't very high. But if for you, did you like have the nostalgia growing up with this?
This is definitely a nostalgia movie for me. Both the first and the second one. I watched those so many times as a kid. I absolutely loved these movies. I laughed my head off every time watching them as a kid. I still do now. I love them. I still watch these regularly, actually.
Did you watch this like not too much before we decided to not too much longer before we picked this one?
I would say probably last year. I think was the last time I was babysitting one of my nieces. I think. Yeah, and then
did you show it to him?
Yeah, of course I did. Come on.
Oh, what did your niece think?
She liked it. She very much enjoyed it. So that's
cool.
Good. Actually, I think she. Okay, so the little one is the one I showed it to, but I don't think she has much recollection of it. But the older one, she had already seen it before and she already enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, cool. We can bond over this movie because this is a good movie. Because they're so good.
Very good movie indeed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't feel like this movie gets enough credit.
No, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't put it up there as like one of Disney's like all-time best. Like I'm not gonna say put it at the top tier of a ranking, but I do think like
I would, but
people. We'll get into that later, but I do agree that that people don't really talk about this. I feel like as much as they should in terms of talking about Disney movies. Which I will say, like this isn't actually. This wasn't produced by Disney's main animation studio. They have like separate studios, so they did this. But I will say, like compared to like, so I think the studio that did this did all those like shitty like sequels in the 2000s. You know what I mean? Like Cinderella 2 and like this movie 2.
Okay, but Cinderella, you know what I mean? Is it Cinderella 2 or Cinderella 3? A Twist in Time?
That's 3.
That was my favorite movie.
I never saw it.
I loved that one.
Because 2 was bad.
I watched it all the time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually heard that Cinderella 3 is not bad.
It's really good.
Is it on Disney Plus? I might check it out.
Yes, it is actually.
Okay,
yeah,
I might give it a check. I might
highly
have to check it
recommend it. I have to watch it again too.
Or we can do an episode on the Cinderella trilogy.
Oh my god, please! But can we mostly just focus on Cinderella 3?
But we'll just do 3, even though 1 is like the right, exactly. That's
forget
how
that one. That doesn't
forget
matter.
the classic. We're gonna do 3.
Yeah.
No. No, I agree though. But anyways, so getting into the movie, so it starts off with this dream sequence that's behind me.
Yes.
But from that dream sequence alone, you can already gather some things about Max.
Max is a horny teenager.
The end. No, yes, but that's it.
End of the movie. That's it.
End of the movie. That's basically the point. But no, so that he's like really, really wanting to be with this girl Roxanne, and then he obviously has a fear of being
becoming
dad.
his dad. Yeah.
Basically, they show it physically in his dream, but really it's more kind of like personality. Well, kind of physically too, because like he doesn't want to look like him either.
Both. Yeah, it's a little.
But both. I would say it's a little bit of both. Yeah. I will say, starting the movie off though, so this doesn't really do it very heavily, but I always forget that this is kind of a musical.
I kind of forgot too. And as many times as I've seen it, I was kind of like, oh, I forgot that there's like an opening like song number.
There's what, maybe like 4 songs in this movie?
Yeah. And okay, so here's the thing. I split it into 2 different things. I'm like, you have the songs that they sing, like Max and Goofy, but then you also have the songs from Powerline, which
Yeah.
Chef's Kiss. This is the best, the most incredible, and another reason why I think this movie is so underrated is that like people don't give enough credit to the songs from them too, and I have evidence to back this up. It was several years ago, but on American Idol, there was a contestant.
Did a Disney night or something?
It was a Disney night, and a contestant sang "Eye to Eye" by Powerline from the Goofy movie. And all the judges were like, I don't recognize this Disney song. Like, are you sure? And I was offended. I was like,
I would be too. I think Eye to Eye is the best song in this movie.
The best song Disney has ever produced ever is Eye to Eye, and I love that song, and I will stand by that.
Bit. All right,
so
that's fine.
Yeah,
it's a good song, but let's not get carried away. No, but I agree. I think I'm not. As we've established before, I'm not huge into musicals and that kind of thing. And I mean, the songs for me here like aren't the most crazy for me out there, but I do think like they have their they have their moments here, like they have their place.
Yeah, they have a purpose, but they're not entirely necessary.
Yeah, I would say yeah. But I do like them, and like they, I honestly do think they're kind of underrated. Yeah. Honestly, I think there's songs in more popular Disney movies that aren't as good as these songs, if that makes sense.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
So basically, go ahead.
We get sucked into these in the 90s, basically, with a whole.
Oh, we're straight into the 90s with this one.
Whole song singing about how it's like the end of the year, summer's about to be here, and Max is just sick and tired of just being this nobody, and he's like, after today, like things are gonna change, and I'm gonna because he's gonna pull this big prank, which. I'm assuming it is like a senior prank because, maybe. Well, point is, he's.
Oh, yeah, they never established what grade he's in, or how old he is.
Yeah, but it seems like a senior prank.
It feels like one.
Which, if it is, iconic senior prank. I would have loved to see that.
That's pretty great.
But yeah, we can also see a little bit more about Max's character, and he's this sweet spaz of a guy who just can't seem to get things right with the girl that he likes.
Spaz like his dad.
He's a spaz like his dad. He's just goofy. He's just a silly, goofy guy.
He's just goofy, which I love that early on they do a very good job of showing how different they are in terms of like their interests and what they like to do. But like deep down, they're really like the same.
They're the same, and with the little laugh, and like they're just they're goofy. That's all you.
Their personalities, I think, are the same, but like where their interests, but like different. But which I like.
Yeah, I agree.
But basically, so yeah, he pulls this big prank. It works. Roxanne's like, but he gets in trouble, and then once his dad finds out, because of the way the principal phrases like that he's gonna end up in a.
Everyone does a very good job of just shit talking Max and making Goofy believe that he is completely screwed up as a parent. Both the principal and Pete.
Oh, Pete is the biggest gaslighter I've ever seen.
Oh God, it's terrible. They make it sound like he has completely failed as a parent and that his child will end up in jail. Like
that's basically what they convinced him, because Pete's over here talking about like you need to. Under the thumb, is what he says.
Yeah, he's like, you need to keep
just control your thumb. Yeah, control your son, because he's always going to be lying to you. You can't trust your son. All this kind of stuff. When clearly, like the thing with Pete though, Like, he has so much control over his son. Like, his son doesn't, like, is miserable around him. Like,
Yes, and there's a scene later on that I want to talk about, but we'll get to that.
yeah,
later.
I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, so basically, like we were saying, that the whole plan did work with Roxanne. So they were talking about the pay-per-view for this Powerline concert that they're gonna have, like a party where they're gonna do the pay-per-view. And he's like, "You want to like come with me or something like that?"
Yeah,
And she's
they're
like, "Yeah, I'll come."
sweet, innocent young love, and it's precious, and I absolutely love to see it.
Very like awkward kind of love, but like, yeah, it is sweet. I agree.
It's innocent, and that's what makes it so great. But yeah, so it ends up working out for him. The whole plan, you know, he woos her, and she is very excited about going to this party with him. Unfortunately for him, he, as soon as he gets home, his father's like, "Well, son, I've been convinced that you were a terrible human being. Let's go on a bonding trip."
Yep.
And he's like, "God, no, it's not what I want."
They are both being super extreme through this, I will say.
Yes, that is
obviously
for sure.
Goofy's intentions here, I will say, are very nice and kind. But honestly, I was thinking about too, if he was my dad, I'd probably be a little annoyed too.
Yes. Yeah.
but-
Considering that he's a teenager, for
Right.
sure, because
Like, if I was in his
teenagers always
position,
hate
I
their
get it.
parents.
Right. But and I understand Max, like, he wants to live out his life and everything, but he acts like a little shit with his dad. So it's kind of like,
Oh, for sure.
you know what I mean? Like, I get both sides. But either way, basically, he's going on this vacation with his dad. He has no way out of it. So he's like, fuck, what am I gonna tell Roxanne? His only option, basically, for him, I guess, is turn into a big dumbass and come up with some stupid ass lie that he can't go to the party because his dad knows Powerline and he's gonna join him on stage.
Yeah, which is a very stupid lie. But also, why is Roxanne so ready to just jump to the next guy like that? Because she's not portrayed as. Yeah, she's not portrayed as this like character who's only in it for like for example, like going back to when we did our Shark Tale episode, and Angelina Jolie's character is very like upfront. She's like, "Hey, I just want you to know I'm only in this for the money. If you don't have money, then I'm not interested in you." But Roxanne is not portrayed as this type of character at all. But suddenly she's like, "All right, fine, I'll find someone else to go to the party." She's like,
"Oh, really? You can't go?" And he's like trying to tell her like, "Well, my dad's forcing me." She's like, "Yeah, okay." I'm like, and then when he comes up with the excuse, she gets all excited again. And in my head, I was like, do you care so much that he's going to be on stage? Like, I would only care that you're watching this show with me if I was Roxanne. You know what I'm saying? That didn't really make sense to me.
It didn't make sense to me either. But you know, that's what we... That was the decision. That was the choice that they made. The direction that they went in.
That's the choice that they went with. So you know what? We're going to go with that.
So yeah. So both of them were, you know, they did that. But so now he's like, all right, well, now I got to go on this trip with my dad, which I don't want to do. And now by the time I get back, she's going to realize I'm a liar because I'm not going to the show. And I certainly do not know Powerline, and I won't be able to be on stage.
Were you about to say I don't know Paramount?
Yeah. I don't know Paramount Plus. So
I don't know Paramount, but you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's in quite the pickle. So that's unfortunate for him.
But that's the thing. So they do head on the road trip, though. One thing I noticed, though, obviously this is another way that we know this in 90s movie, is that they're driving around with that big-ass map.
Yeah.
I could never drive around with a map like that. I can barely drive with a GPS on my phone as it is.
Yeah, my GPS is for real out to get me. I have never put in a destination on my phone and gotten there without getting lost at some point. One time, me and Brianna went to go to Sonic, and she trusted me to put in the directions, which was her first mistake.
That was a terrible mistake.
I got us to a Sonic an hour away from where we were.
Are you serious?
There was one 5 minutes away.
And you didn't stop to question, like, during that hour?
Yeah, eventually we started questioning, like, hey, this is it's a little bit farther than we thought, because it's weird, because there was one way back there. I should not be trusted with directions.
You could not just stop at the Sonic on the way to the Sonic you thought you were going to.
I am directionally impaired, all right? Well, no, so here's the thing. It was like, if you look at it as like a line, it was like point A was the Sonic we were meant to go to, point B was where we were at, and point C was where we ended up. Point C being very, very far in the opposite direction of the Sonic that was like 10 minutes away. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's okay. So I would imagine you would have done much worse with a map then.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, at least from what I remember of navigation growing up was the first. So the map thing was kind of gone, I think, for me. But like, I remember my mom printing out like MapQuest, like having the directions to print out, and then the GPSs that you had to like buy separately.
The TomToms or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now we're with the phones. So, it's kind of amazing the how fast the evolution of GPSs have gone, like navigation in general.
Thank God for that, because I would not be able to go anywhere ever.
We're lucky that you were able to go to at least to a Sonic an hour away. At least you ended up somewhere.
At least we ended up somewhere, and that's what and the best part was that was not the first time I had done that. There have been many times where I have done this. So
that's nice. So, but basically on the road trip, they hit a lot of random spots. One of the first ones being this like possum park of some sort.
Yeah, it was the, I can't, there's something possum jamboree or something. It was
something
great.
like that. That
exactly
show
the type of thing that you would see on the side of
a
road. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like they're all like old and rusty and like, and then you have that little girl next to Max, like smiling at him, like
creepy,
like all
creepy.
And then Max is just like not into this, and then that big ass Lester mascot's trying to hug him, and it's just all a disaster. And at this point, obviously, you just see more about Goofy. Like he just is really trying to connect with his son. Cannot drive as well. That's exactly where I was going with this.
Yes, yeah, that's what you learn about Goofy, is that he is a terrible driver. But honestly, I can't talk because so am I. So
yeah, I is that why you connect so much to his character?
I think so. No, okay, quite honestly, I connect so much to his character. Not connect as in like I see myself, but I see my dad in Goofy. Like even the things that he says. Like there's one point where he's like, "That's the ticket." My dad used to say that all the time. Like it's all just very much my dad. My dad is Goofy. So I think that's why I loved it so much growing up, was because it was like I was watching my dad and I on TV. But yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
cool.
little tidbit
I could
there.
definitely see that for you though. But yeah, so then they ended up deciding to like camp out for the night kind of thing. Pete decides to just pull up with real camping. Like this man's got like
RV insane.
That RV is crazy. Like bowling and basketball court and all that good stuff. I've actually never been camping before. I don't know if you have.
I have. Never with an RV, but like with a tent. Yes, I have been camping a couple times.
How was that experience like?
It was actually it's fun. My cousins and I, we used to do camping a lot, like every year. And it's a great experience. And I'm not one for, that's not true. I do enjoy nature, but not all the time. But that was like a great experience to just like no phones, nothing, just, like getting to like hang out by the river and stay up late and watch the stars and all that fun stuff. It was great. It's tons of fun.
Oh man.
Highly recommend for sure.
Yeah, we'll see if I get it. We'll see if I do that. If I do camping, I want to do it like Pete, or I'm not doing it.
So you want to go glamping? Got it.
Sure. I will say that I am very curious about the cold camping and especially the RV experience, especially since we just watched We're the Millers last week. I'm like, we've done a lot of kind of RV related stuff. So, yeah.
We got to do a show where we're camping.
Oh, in a white screen camp. Oh my God. That'd be interesting. That'd be
on
something.
the road. In a white screen on the road. I love it.
So something that I noticed as well, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe, so we've done quite a few animated movies on this podcast, but I think this is the first like 2D like hand-drawn one we've done.
I think, yeah, I think so.
I think it is. And I love like how like that really adds to like how creative and unique this feels, because I don't know, I just feel like there's so much energy that you can create with just like 2D form, like just the way like these characters move and speak, and even some of like the camera movements like they would use. Yes. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. It really like it adds like a different energy to the movie. Yeah.
And on top of that, I feel like it also adds to the nostalgia element of it that I certainly feel.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
So it's just kind of a twofer there. But yeah, I totally agree. I think I love the way that it's drawn. It well animated movie.
And this is, I think it is very quality. Like this does look like something that belongs in a movie theater. It doesn't look like something that'd be like just shoved straight to,
straight to
DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
Or what we have now, straight to streaming.
Straight to streaming. That's crazy. Yeah. That way we've gone from straight to DVD to just straight to streaming. But
I really,
I definitely.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I definitely do like it.
Yeah, because I especially started noticing this during the Bigfoot sequence.
Yeah. Because of course,
especially,
Bigfoot.
Of course, Bigfoot has to show up, and of course, what stops Bigfoot? The Bee Gees.
Oh God. Where do I begin?
Like that's amazing. Like that is amazing that they just put some headphones on them and they play Staying Alive, and that's all they had to do. That was it.
Yes. So while I don't terribly enjoy this scene, and I do enjoy the scene to follow it, which is the nice little bonding moment that they have with the Hi Dad soup thing. So
yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I have a thought about this scene. Mm-hmm. How did he get those letters like perfectly like?
Well, by the time that he handed him the cup, he already drank the soup. All those left.
So so I guess, but when he found the letters, did he just kind of like shove them off to the side while he ate the rest of the soup, or like?
Oh yeah, you know how like when you have like a like one of those types of soups, you can easily just like kind of push the noodles to the side of the bowl, and they're gonna stick there because it's wet.
Oh, I never went through the alphabet soup.
I think I had it maybe like once or twice, and it was at like someone else's house. Like it was never at mine. From my experience, yes, those are. You can.
Were you more of a SpaghettiOs or a Chef Boyardee?
Actually, funny story. We're full of fun stories today.
Yes.
So
this episode's gonna be longer than the movie because we've spent a lot of time not talking about the movie.
Yeah, basically. Okay, but my brothers used to have the Chef Boyardee, and they used to eat it a lot. And because they enjoyed it and they didn't want me eating all their food, they told me that it was dog food. And for most of my life, I was convinced that it was dog food, and I refused to eat Chef Boyardee.
Kind of looks like dog food to be.
I wouldn't eat it. Still to this day, I won't eat it because I'm still like, there's a chance it might be dog food.
There's a chance.
Scarred for life.
I might accidentally feed it to my dog, and he'll enjoy it, and like that's it right there.
And that's it. But you know what? Joey deserves it. Give it to him.
He might like it. Honestly, I will give him some. Yeah. So you don't like that Bigfoot scene?
I don't know. It just seems very, I guess, out of place.
I disagree because I feel like the whole movie feels kind of goofy. Like
that's fair. That's fair.
But I also do understand it to an extent. It's like, why does a Bigfoot just show up and start chasing them?
Yeah. I don't know. It just kind of.
So I get it.
It really like takes me out of the movie, you know, like the sense of realism is suddenly gone.
Suddenly gone, right? Like what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying though. I do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think my favorite part was just him like disco dancing behind the car.
They did get a chuckle out of me. I will say that much. So I guess it does the job that it sets out to.
Right. I forgot to. I was gonna actually use this as my trivia question today, or not trivia, but a riddle. How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon?
What do you say, like 2.5 or 3.5?
He said 3.5, and he's like,
back to sleep.
back to sleep.
Yeah, that was funny. They had a lot of nice little moments.
Yeah.
Oh, but I also enjoyed the fact that he decides to start writing a postcard to Roxanne about like him lying and all this. But I also like that he starts it with like, decided to drop you a line. And dropping a line to someone in the 90s was sending them a postcard. Insane.
It's just, yeah. And this is like, I mean, this is 95. This was like smack middle in the 90s, you know?
Middle of the 90s.
So, I mean, a little bit before our time. We were born a few years after this. Mid-90s, exactly. So, pretty insane. But basically, this is the point in the movie where Max becomes a little sneaky. So, him and his father have started to bond a little bit more. But Max isn't quite done yet. He a little sneaky ass reroutes the map because his dad has drawn out the route on their map to like where they're gonna make all their stops.
Lake,
Right, Lake, whatever it's called.
Lake Destiny.
Yes, Destiny. So he draws a circle around Los Angeles because he needs to make it for that concert. He needs to figure out some way to do it. But, I mean, that's the way. They got to go to LA and they'll figure it out from there.
LA.
And right after that happens, then Goofy the next morning is like, here, Max, like, here's the map. Like, I'm not even going to look at it. Like, I trust you wholeheartedly.
Trust you, Mr. Navigator. Yeah.
Navigator. And Max is like, fuck.
Yeah, he's certainly feeling guilty about it. But,
yeah.
you know, as they get back on the road, we start to see them bonding even more. Because now they're doing more of like a give and take. I think Goofy realizes he was a little bit
kind of sweet. I like this
pushing
montage.
Too much. Max wasn't giving enough, and they decided to meet halfway in the middle, doing a little bit of what, you know, Goofy would want to do, some things that Max would want to do, and they really get to start bonding over it, which is really nice. And at this point, you know, Goofy's like, I've done it. Like, I've really been able to really connect with my son. Well, they end up making a stop at a fish-themed hotel, which I don't even call that a hotel. But yeah, I mean,
barely, yeah.
Yeah, so they're there, and Pete also shows up, of course. Little
Pete
devil
is there, yeah.
On his shoulder, whispering to him, saying like, "Hey, you screwed up as a father." And well, he overhears Max talking about his new plan to get them to LA, and he's like, "Hey, man, you know, you think that you're good with your son, but you've still screwed up because he has lied to you this whole time. You didn't even realize it." And then this is where the scene comes in that I wanted to talk about earlier, which he makes a comment where he was like, "Hey, like, I don't believe you. Like, you're lying. My son loves me." And he was and then Pete was like, "Well, my son respects me."
Respects me, yeah.
But there is a big difference between loving someone and respecting someone.
Yeah.
So, and you can see Max truly does love his father, and that's the bond that you really want between a father and a son. Respect, yeah, but respect comes with love. But
here's
yeah. So respect comes with love, but wait, hold on. I'm trying to figure out if I'm putting this in the right order.
Figure it out. It's okay.
Love comes with respect. Respect does not come with love.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, maybe.
But I think even on top of all that, like, his son doesn't respect him. Like, his son's scared of him.
Yeah, he's terrified of him. He
or not scared necessarily, but he just like looks like really like. So you see throughout the whole time when Pete shows up with his son, he's just like, the only reason he has him there is to do stuff for him and like use him. Yeah,
he's always doing chores, and like Pete's the one that's just getting. There's
even a point where when they first see Pete at the RV, and Max is like, "Where's PJ?" He's like, "Who? Oh, like
yeah."
It's like clearly like does not like right. So I found it interesting when he said like, "My son respects me," when it's like all you do is just like make him, make him work, do all this stuff for you, make him work for you, and all that. When it's like. No, the actual love here is between Max and Goofy. Like, that's the father-son relationship that's like admirable here. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting scene. But and the only reason why Pete knew this particular thing was because he eavesdropped. It's not that he like knew this himself, like figured it out on his own. Like no, he heard them talking about changing plans and whatever. And then
Goofy,
oh, no, sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say. So Goofy just chooses not to believe him, but kind of is like rethinking, everything with Max, and he does end up coming across the map, and he does find out the truth that Max was in fact lying to him. But instead of confronting him about it,
yes, I like this choice here.
Yeah, he instead is like, you know what? I'm giving you the choice. Do you like after everything we went through on this bonding trip? Are you going to still be selfish and choose to go to LA? Or are you going to, like do what we had originally planned? Because the whole point of this trip was that Goofy and his father had that really strong bond. And this lake trip, this fishing trip is a thing that is like, it's in the family. He did this with his father, and he is now really excited about doing this with his own son. But now his son is just very uninterested in it all. It's very sad to see that. But yeah, I mean, he's at a literal crossroads.
Literally, which I liked that he like you were saying gave him that kind of choice to like kind of decide that like, and basically, Max basically decides the very last second, turn left, California, basically confirming, makes the choice. Goofy knows like, okay, like this is where he really feels. He was lying to me. Like clearly, like the trust he had is not there. Yeah. And then as, this craziness ensues because the car starts to fly and go in the river and all this kind of stuff, their real feelings come out from the both of them. And they really, you just see they both, I think, lack a certain sense of understanding of the other. Like, I feel like Max doesn't really understand what Goofy's trying to say as a father at the beginning. And Goofy doesn't know what Max is really feeling as like a son, especially as a teenager. Like going about it, not with any like real malintent, but just the lack of communication, I guess, or like understanding. That they don't have.
Definitely. There's a disconnect there, and it's clear, and they haven't had. Neither of them have given themselves the chance to really talk through it and try and understand the other, and now they literally have nowhere else to go because they are floating down a river on top of their car.
right.
And they have no choice but to talk. And they do.
So
they
basically, basically they kind of sang through it too, right? But basically, the gist is that Max is a teenager now. Like he's old enough. He's not a little kid anymore. He wants to live his own life. But Goofy's like, I understand that, but I just want to still be a part of your life. Like you're always gonna be my son.
Yeah,
it was sweet. I was like, damn.
So beautiful.
I'm like, but yeah. And like you were saying, like this, they did tell this kind of in a song format, had his sweet moments and all that kind of stuff. And now that's kind of out there. And then Max explains everything that's going on, like the whole lie he made up. And Goofy's like, well, we just got to go to California then, huh? We got to get you on stage. I was like, damn, I didn't know he was going to be that understanding. Like
the supportive father. No, I totally saw that coming because he is a good father. Goofy is such a good father. He is sweet and understanding and supportive. And he's like, I will support you no matter what, son. And so he is like, we're going to get you on that stage. And Goofy, he did it. He got him on that stage.
He did get him on that stage. Well, before that, they almost...
oh, yeah, they almost died, too.
They almost kind of died, way to gloss over that. And then I did not expect that whole perfect cast kind of moment to be, like, called back into the plot, but that was kind of sweet, too.
Yeah. And they called it back 2 times to save the day. Once to, save Goofy's life. But more importantly, to save Goofy from humiliation on stage because he learned how to dance using the perfect cast.
Oh, yeah. He did like the perfect... Yeah, he did like a dance. Yeah, that was funny.
So he turns it into a whole dance, and it's great.
Well, first of all, they arrived to the Powerline show. They got there right when he went on stage. I'm like, did they have the set times?
They were ready.
Was there no opening act? Like, what was going on?
Yeah, those were the girls walking by that Max was like, this is a bad idea. And then he sees them and he's like, maybe not. Which...
I know.
There are a lot of points of this movie that are just very like, wow, I did not catch that as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, you just really see Max is just a horny motherfucker. Like, this man,
he's a horny teenager, you know? That's just,
I mean,
it's
this
just how
whole
it goes.
movie doesn't happen if he's not that horny teenager.
True that. Yeah, that's true. So
So-
I guess it's good for the viewer to
Right. That's a good takeaway
yeah.
for kids watching this movie. So the whole power line thing, I mean, they end up on stage, it all works out. I don't know how the fuck that car made it home. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how it made it out of the water. I mean,
I didn't even see it get out of the water. They like,
yeah, but they make it home. I
They
mean,
did it.
it doesn't have like windows or doors anymore, but it still somehow drives. Not for very long though, because it does later on explode. But but they do get back home, and Max gets to have that last moment with Roxanne. He's expecting to be like, because she's going to tell the truth. So
Yeah.
he was expecting her to react poorly, but she did not.
I mean, I would have too.
Yeah. So that was good.
But Roxanne's just weird. I don't know. I'm like,
yeah,
is she worth it?
I don't get her. Her character doesn't quite make sense. But you know
Yeah.
what? She's a pretty girl. I mean, I liked her when I was little. I wanted to be her. So
Yeah.
And I tried desperately today to get my hair to look like her. It did not work, so I went for the hat instead. So
Okay. No, yeah. I mean, it's effort. Like I told you before, it's the effort that counts. So that's fine.
it's the effort. Yeah, exactly.
But basically, his relationship with Roxanne's good. Him and his dad are good, and that's
Everyone's
the movie.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get played out with
and then
the end credits or the credits roll. Eye to Eye, best Disney song ever plays, and it's happy ending for everyone.
I do like Eye to Eye though. It is a good song. This reminds me,
Eye to Eye.
I think a few years ago I saw, I don't know where they were selling this Hot Topic. It was like Powerline shirts, but it was like had like tour dates on the back or something.
That's
It was kind of like
awesome.
a Powerline tour shirt.
I would have loved that, man. I gotta
I'm
find
like,
that.
I honestly might try to look for it soon. I feel like that'd be very cool.
My
It
birthday's
reminded
coming
me-
up. I mean, if you want, if you want.
Anyways, so here's my final thoughts. I'm kidding. Anyways, but yeah, so that's for the movie. A very short, definitely the shortest movie we watched on this podcast
Probably.
thus far, but
We
definitely a
should
lot
watch
here to
the
talk
Brave
about.
Little Toaster next. I don't know. Oh,
I've
yeah.
never seen that.
I also just realized we didn't. Oh, we did. Sorry, just kidding. Okay, let's continue.
What?
No, sorry,
Okay.
my brain fogged, but we're good.
Yeah, clearly. Anyways, but I think the reason why this movie just works so well is just like there's a genuine like heart in this movie between like Goofy and Max, like that father-son relationship, that I think a lot of people can really attach themselves to. Even if it's not father and son, I'm sure like people can associate it with their mothers or like any other.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the Goofy is my dad. That is literally his whole personality is exactly like Goofy's, but he's also, shout out to my dad. He's a great guy. He knows how to be a father and a good one. And thanks, Dad. And
Future podcast guest, maybe.
sorry, yeah, he desperately wants to be on the podcast. He's our
really
number
wants
one
to,
listener. So, but
Yeah.
so also sorry for being a teenager and being a moody one at that. But hey, I'm better now, and that's what matters.
Yes. Which is actually, this goes back to why I was saying that in the beginning, why I think coincidentally this is a really good movie to talk about on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Just
family,
be thankful.
family tones.
Be thankful for your family, for your parents, for the people in your life. People that love you. Sometimes we might take them for granted. So just, I don't know. Just tell people in your life that you love. Tell them you love them. 'Cause,
Tell them you love them, and then you eat up that turkey. Gobble gobble.
Yes. Well, I'm more of a ham guy myself. Actually.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're like really on turkey side.
I'm really on turkey side.
I'll eat turkey, but I love ham.
I like the ham, but turkey's always my go-to there.
Has to hide it. When we did that Friendsgiving a few years ago, did we have turkey or ham?
No, I went to McDonald's and I
we had
ordered
neither.
100 chicken
You're
nuggets.
Right. We had chicken nuggets from McDonald's. We had McNuggets. And you
Look,
got like all the
okay.
dipping sauces.
It was thrown together very last minute. All right, the people at McDonald's hated me because I showed up and I was like, "Hey, can I have 100 chicken nuggets?" And they were like, 100?
You basically
Are
just
you
shut down the
serious?
restaurant.
I was like,
You
I'm
took
so
all their
sorry.
supply.
But
I do remember that was funny because I think none of us knew how to prepare a turkey or a ham properly.
No, none of us did. Everyone brought sides, but like really easy to make sides. And it was at my house, so I was like in charge of like the main course, and I was like, I'm not a good cook. I'm not even gonna attempt a turkey. Chicken nuggets it is. So yeah.
We should have done it this year. We can do it probably next year. I remember having fun with that.
We definitely. I think we'll just do like a Christmas / late Thanksgiving party. We'll just mix it all into one.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. / graduation parties for all our friends who are graduating. So it all works out.
Oh, that too. Yeah. We'll celebrate everything. It's fine. But no, honestly, but I did really enjoy this movie. Obviously seeing the animation style and everything, the 90s period's very nostalgic thing for, obviously, I mean, not a time period I lived in, but a time period that I like seeing. You get the humor, you get some good songs in here. Like it's a good watch, and it's short. You can't really go wrong with this movie.
You can't go wrong with it. It's great.
So did you have any final thoughts on a Goofy movie?
I mean, like I said, it's the nostalgia for me, but on top of that, I feel like it still holds up, even if I were to watch it for the first time now, because it is funny. It makes me chuckle. It's a sweet story at the end of it, so it's just great. It's a great movie. And Goofy is always my favorite character ever, so that's fun. And now I'm gonna go watch the second one.
Yeah, the story does continue an extremely Goofy movie, so maybe watch out for an episode on that in the future. Ooh, honestly. All right, well, are you ready to give the movie a score?
I think so. Okay. Yeah.
If you want me to go first, I can go first.
Why don't you go first this week?
Okay. I am going to give this a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah. Then that does confirm what I'm... Oh, maybe.
Where are you at?
I don't know. I'm saying like a really, really high 7. Like high 7... getting very close to an 8, like a 7.9 is what I'm giving.
It's respectable. All right, it's respectable.
Yeah. If the only reason there isn't an 8 is because the Bigfoot scene.
Really? That bothered you that much? I actually did not have an issue really with that scene.
It's just very okay. didn't make me laugh as much as it maybe should have, except for the dancing scene. That one did make me chuckle. But
yeah. That's fair.
But
all right,
but yeah, I'm very high 7.
We'll cheers on that.
Yeah, cheers.
All right. Well, that's where we're at with the Goofy movie. That concludes our discussion. And that was a great Thanksgiving episode. So that was, I think so. It was fun.
For sure. We had some technical difficulties, but we made it through.
Oh, yeah, places for sure. I say next year for Thanksgiving, we hopefully can do this in person, and we can have some ham or turkey or chicken McNuggets perhaps to celebrate
chicken
the occasion.
Nuggets for Thanksgiving. It's great.
I'd be honestly would not be mad if that was our tradition.
Honestly, neither would I. Good chicken nuggets.
All right. But yeah, so that concludes today's episode. So just to get into the wrap up, Martha, do you remember the movie for next week?
Yes. So earlier I was like, oh, we forgot to pick a movie for next week. And then I realized we were just way ahead of the game. Ahead of the game that I had forgotten.
We already talked about it. Yeah.
I remember now. So next week, very excited. We are going to be watching.
So excited for this movie.
Yeah, we're going to be watching Interstellar.
Yes. We are going to have on a special guest next week. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's been a while since we had a guest on. And this is someone we wanted to have on for a while.
Literally since we started this podcast, we have been trying to get this person on, but we're trying to get ourselves figured out first before
it's just
have
been
someone come on. But
right, but we figured it was time, so I think it'll work out. So keep an eye out for that. So Interstellar is streaming on Paramount Plus. So if you want to check out the movie, there it is. Check it out before the episode next week. Yeah, I'm super excited to watch this movie again. So that'll be fun. And yeah, if you want to keep listening to us, thank y'all so much. It's going to be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you want to keep listening to our episodes on there. Or if you prefer the video version, check us out on Inner Wider Screen Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, comment, all that good stuff. And finally, on social media, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, you can find us at Inner Wider Screen. It's where we post the updates on when you can expect new episodes, new topics. like polls, all kind of stuff that we'll do on there.
Eventually we'll do stuff. Yeah.
Eventually we'll do, I guess in the future, right? For now, it's just kind of posting when episodes are out. But like, yeah, eventually when we have more time and everything, we can like do more. But yeah. So yeah. Anything else you want to say before we conclude this eventful episode? Because this has been a struggle today.
Ha-cha-cha. That is all.
All right, y'all.
Yep, there you go.
Bye.
Bye.